What's good, hoop heads? Your courtside analyst Tips and Streams is back in the game. On the slate today, breakdowns for the latest NBA matchups set to light up the hardwood. Before we tip off, make sure you slam that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to stay in the loop with all our predictions and top picks. So, let's get started. Now let's move on to the second part of today's NBA game predictions. We will cover predictions for 5 exciting games. Let's get started. The next today's prediction is for the game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Dallas Mavericks. Tonight's showdown on the hardwood features the Minnesota Timberwolves squaring off against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's dive into the critical elements that'll dictate tonight's game rhythm. The Timberwolves are tearing up the court with a stellar 25-9 track record. Their offensive playbook is on fire, dropping an impressive 112.82 points per game. They're knocking down shots with a 48.45% shooting accuracy and are sharpshooters from downtown, hitting 38.08% from beyond the arc. On the boards, they're grabbing an average of 43.55 rebounds, a key play in setting the game's tempo. The Dallas Mavericks, standing at 21-15, are no pushovers. They've got the firepower, averaging a whopping 118.51 points per game, and their shooting is on point with a 47.02% field goal rate. Their 36.68% from the three-point line is formidable, keeping them in the hunt. The Mavs are snagging 42.11 rebounds per game, just a hair behind the Timberwolves, but their board control is not to be slept on. Looking at recent performances, the Mavericks are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 matchups, proving they can beat the odds, but Sundays have been tough, with only 2 wins in their last 9 Sunday games. The Timberwolves, while 1-5 against the spread in recent games, boast a strong 14-5 in their last 19 outings, showcasing their win-sealing prowess. Head-to-head in Dallas, the Timberwolves have a decent track record, winning and beating the spread in 2 of the last 6 matchups, indicating a competitive edge in Dallas. Injuries could be game-changers here. The Timberwolves are down Jalen Clark, while the Mavericks have Luka Doncic and others on the questionable list. These absences or limited plays could sway the game's direction. All things considered, the Timberwolves have a slight edge with their sharp shooting and rebounding dominance. Yet, the Mavericks' scoring skill and recent trend against the spread can't be ignored, hinting at a neck-and-neck battle. The betting line mirrors this analysis. A 2-point spread favors the Timberwolves, and the over-under is pegged at 230 points, predicting a high-octane scoring affair with the Timberwolves narrowly outperforming the Mavericks. To sum it up, analyzing the current forms, stats, and trends, the smart bet seems to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves to win and cover the spread. But in the NBA's unpredictable dance, the Mavericks' grit could surprise us. I'm placing my bet on the Minnesota Timberwolves minus 1.5. The next today's prediction is for the game between Detroit Pistons and Denver Nuggets. Tonight's court clash pits the underdog Detroit Pistons with a shaky 332 win-loss sheet against the formidable Denver Nuggets, sporting a robust 25-12 record. The Pistons, despite their less-than-stellar performance, have been defying odds lately, going 5-1 against the spread in their recent matchups. They're posting an average of 111.40 points per game, hitting 46.85% from the field and 34.36% beyond the arc. However, they're hitting the hardwood without key players Monty Morris and Isaiah Stewart, sidelined due to injuries. The Nuggets, on the other hand, are bringing their A-game with an average score of 115.68 points. Their shooting game is on point with a 49.23% field goal and 37.41% three-point accuracy, outperforming the Pistons in these stats. Denver's also got a slight upper hand in snagging rebounds and dishing out assists, showcasing their slick ball handling and possession game. In their recent face-offs in Denver, the Pistons have found it tough, clinching just 1 win in their last 5 visits. Yet, they've managed to cover the spread in 3 of these games. The Nuggets' home court has been a fortress, with a solid 15-4 straight-up record in their recent home games. While they dominate at home, the Nuggets tend to play a tight game, aiming for wins rather than wide victory margins. Looking at the trends, the Nuggets have been a bit shaky against the spread in their last 7, going 2-5, indicating a bit of inconsistency. The Pistons, despite their overall woes, have shown some prowess against the spread, particularly when facing teams from the Western Conference. The odds are heavily leaning towards the Nuggets with a minus 16.5 point spread. Yet, given Denver's style of controlled play and the Pistons' tendency to exceed spread expectations, I foresee the Nuggets seizing the win but the Pistons covering the spread. The Pistons' grit in staying toe-to-toe in games, coupled with Denver's focus on securing wins rather than scoring blowouts, positions Detroit as a wise pick against the spread. Summing up, while the Nuggets are likely to notch up a home victory, anticipate the Pistons to put up a valiant fight, making this a game worth watching. I'm placing my chips on the Detroit Pistons to beat the plus 17-point spread. The next today's prediction is for the game between Memphis Grizzlies and Phoenix Suns. Tonight's showdown is on fire with the Memphis Grizzlies going head-to-head against the Phoenix Suns. Looking at their game, the Grizzlies are in a tough spot with a 12-23 scoreboard, while the Suns are shining brighter, boasting a 19-16 record. Breaking down the numbers, the Suns are shooting stars with a field goal average of 48.06%, outshining the Grizzlies 43.95%. When it comes to nailing threes, the Suns are still on top, hitting 37.56% against the Grizzlies, 33.85%. This hot streak continues on the boards, with the Suns grabbing an average of 43.46 rebounds per game, just edging out the Grizzlies at 42.06. Playmaking is also in the Suns' court, with an average of 26.14 assists per game, compared to the Grizzlies' 24.29. But don't count out the Grizzlies just yet. They've got a knack for surprising on the Suns' turf, holding a solid 6-2 record against the spread in their last 8 visits to Phoenix. Their face-off history in Phoenix slightly leans towards the Grizzlies, with 2 wins in their last 5 games. Injuries could be a game-changer tonight. The Grizzlies might miss the magic of Ja Morant, and with aces like Derrick Rose, Steven Adams, and Brandon Clark benched, their bench strength is on trial. The Suns, potentially playing without Kevin Durant and Eric Gordon, and missing Damian Lee, Bol Bol, and Nasser Little, are also in a tough spot. Looking at recent plays, the Grizzlies are 1-5 against the spread in their latest 6 games, especially struggling against teams from the West. The Suns, though wobbly in their last 18 games against the spread, have been rulers of their home court, clinching 4 of their last 5 games. The Suns, favored with a 4-point edge, look set to seal the deal, especially with their solid home game and the Grizzlies not at their best recently. The over-under at 229.5 points suggests a high-scoring game, leaning towards an over. To wrap it up, while the Grizzlies have shown some serious hustle, particularly in Phoenix, the Suns, with their superior shooting and home turf advantage, are the hot pick to win and beat the 3.5-point spread. Injuries could play a role, but the Suns' squad depth might just be the key to their victory. My money is on the Phoenix Suns to take the win and the spread. The next today's prediction is for the game between Toronto Raptors and Golden State Warriors. Tonight's face-off between the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors is gearing up to be a basketball bonanza. The Raptors, boasting 14 wins and 21 losses, are lighting up the scoreboard with an average of 114.49 points per game, a testament to their dynamic attack. Their sharpshooting is impressive, with a field goal average of 47.78% and three-point shots sinking at 34.95%. They're also strong on the rebound, snagging an average of 44.49 per game, and their teamwork shines with 29.26 assists per game. On the flip side, the Warriors are stepping up with 17 wins and 18 losses. They slightly outscore the Raptors with 117.11 points per game. Their field goal percentage is a tad lower at 46.35%, but they're nailing three-pointers at a higher 37.113%. Dominant in rebounds with 46.49 per game and boasting 28.06 assists, they're a force to be reckoned with both offensively and defensively. The Raptors have shown grit recently, beating the odds in 4 of their last 6 games and tending to play high-scoring matches. However, their away game record is a bit shaky, especially in Golden State, where they've struggled. The Warriors, meanwhile, have been unpredictable but strong at home, with a solid record against Eastern Conference teams. Injuries could be a game-changer tonight. The Raptors are limping in with some key players possibly out, while the Warriors have their own lineup worries. Looking at past matchups, the Raptors and Warriors have been neck and neck, but tonight the scales might tip towards the Warriors. They have the home court advantage and stronger stats. though the Raptors' ability to keep things tight shouldn't be overlooked. The bookies are favoring the Warriors with a 2.5-point edge, and a high-scoring game is anticipated. But it's going to be close. I'd expect the Warriors to pull off a win, but maybe not by much more than the predicted 3-point spread. It's a nail-biter, and personally, I'm steering clear of betting on this one. The last prediction for today is for the matchup between Los Angeles Clippers and Los Angeles Lakers. Tonight's matchup is a sizzling showdown on the court, with the Los Angeles Clippers squaring off against their hometown rivals, the Lakers. The Clippers, riding high with a solid 22-12 record, are bringing serious game, undefeated in their last 5 with a 5-zip straight-up record. They're dominating the spread too, especially against the Lakers, with a killer 6-1 in their last 7 faceoffs. Their away game stats are even more jaw-dropping, boasting a 12-1 against the spread in their last 13 road games against the Lakers. The Clippers are scoring big, averaging nearly 117 points per game, sinking almost half their shots, and hitting threes at an impressive 38.61%. The Lakers, on the flip side, are struggling to get their groove back. With an 18-19 record, they're faltering against the spread, with a disappointing 4-9 in their last 13 games. Their straight-up game isn't much better, standing at 1-5 recently. They do edge out the Clippers in rebounds and assists per game, but their three-point game is lacking, a major drawback in today's game. Injury-wise, the Clippers are nearly at full strength, missing just Moussa Diabate. The Lakers, however, might feel the absence of LeBron James and D'Angelo Russell, both questionable for the game. This could seriously skew things in the Clippers' favor. Looking at recent history, the Clippers have the Lakers' number, winning 9 of their last 10 head-to-heads and covering the spread in 8. In their past 5 home games against the Lakers, the Clippers have clinched victory 4 times and covered the spread in 3, a stat that can't be ignored considering home court dynamics. The Clippers are trending up, covering the spread in 4 of their last 5 games, with the total going under in 4 of these. The Lakers, in contrast, are struggling, especially at home, with a concerning 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 and an even more troubling 1-12 in their last 13 home games against the Clippers. Taking into account team efficiencies, historical performances, current forms, and injury updates, the Clippers have the advantage. They outperform the Lakers in key stats like field goal and three-point percentages. With the Lakers potentially missing crucial players and the Clippers' recent upper hand, the Clippers are not just likely to win, but also to cover the spread. The betting odds favoring the Clippers with a 4-point spread and an over-under total of 230.5 reflect this assessment. The betting trend leans towards the Clippers, signaling a strong belief in their victory. So, my call? The Clippers will slam dunk this rivalry game and cover the 3.5-point spread, making them my pick for tonight's epic clash.